Julie, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on today.
Of course. So let's start from the very basic. What is a clean fuel standard and what should people know about it?
A clean fuel standard is a technology-neutral approach to reducing emissions from the transportation sector. It requires any fuels that exceed a standard, which would be a reduction in pollution associated with transportation fuels. Any fuels that exceed the standard, so fossil fuels, the dirty fuels, gasoline and diesel, would have to buy credits from any fuels that are below the standard. So that includes electricity, it includes renewable liquid fuels like renewable diesel, and so that will help us move off of fossil fuels and into a cleaner transportation future, which is really critical because transportation pollution is 36% of our climate pollution that's out there. So we really need to tackle fossil fuels in order to clean up our transportation sector.
So they buy the credits. Where does that money go? Is it used for a specific purpose, like other environmental purposes?
It stays within the transportation sector. So it goes from the dirty fuel providers to the clean fuel providers to help to develop and deploy the use of clean fuels, including electric vehicles. We think this is really critical. It could help truck fleets, it could help transit fleets transition to cleaner fuels, as well as entities like, we know Lyft, for example, has made a commitment to transition their fleets to all electric by 2030, assuming that there are some supports or incentives to help them get there. So a clean fuel standard would go to those providers from the fossil fuel industry. So really making the fossil fuel industry pay for this transition to a clean transportation future, which makes sense to us because the fossil fuel industry is really the ones who are responsible for the climate crisis we find ourselves in.
So the State Transportation Advisory Panel has recommended that New York adopt a clean fuel standard. There is a bill in the legislature that would do just that. Can you tell me a little bit more about the bill? What's in it? What are the goals and parameters that we're looking at?
So Senator Parker and Assemblywoman Kerry Warner carry legislation that does exactly what you said. The Transportation Advisory Panel made a recommendation to include a clean fuel standard going forward. The bill would require a reduction of 20% of pollution from the transportation sector by 2032, just from the fuels. And that is a very nice complement to legislation that the legislature passed earlier this year, requiring zero emission sales by 2045 of all vehicles, including medium and heavy duty vehicles, which means we have a long period of time where we're expecting that vehicles are still going to be using some kind of combustion engine. This would enable us to start reducing the amount of pollution from those fuels during that time while we're moving, accelerating that move, frankly, to electricity. The bill would specifically require a 20% reduction by 2032. It would apply to all fuel providers. Again, we look at this on a life cycle basis. It requires the State Department of Environmental Conservation to set up that standard and to make sure that we're taking action to reduce those emissions. It also allows for fuels that we otherwise, the state of New York couldn't regulate, like aviation fuel, to be included. They could voluntarily participate in a market, which would help us to really work on reducing air pollution from air traffic that we don't have the ability to otherwise tackle.
So a big part of this is that it places the burden on fossil fuel companies to pay for it, and that obviously comes with some cost. Could we see that trickle down to consumers? In other words, could we be paying more at the pump if this passes?
The price of gasoline at the pump and the price of diesel fuel at the pump is really part of a much bigger geopolitical sensitivity. We see that, right? Gas prices just went up because people are traveling on Memorial Day weekend. Gas prices went up when there was a problem with a pipeline. Gas prices go up when there's politics happening in the Middle East. We have not seen in California and Oregon, where they have had a clean fuel standard for a number of years, we haven't really seen any empirical studies that show a direct correlation between the price of a low carbon fuel standard and the price at the pump. But what we have seen is a significant reduction in fossil fuel usage. We've seen in California in 2019, 2.5 billion less gallons of fossil fuel was used as a result of the clean fuel standard. 20% of the investments of the credits went to electricity or for EV related work, and they are not 20% of the fuel market right now because the lower the carbon intensity of your fuel, the more credits you're going to generate from that. And we know that based on the prices in California and the amount of fossil fuels that we use in New York, which is about 5.6 billion gallons of gasoline and 1.3 billion gallons of diesel fuel, that in New York, this could generate between $1 billion and $1.4 billion in investments in clean fuels, including EVs here, in every year. Right? That's not over a period of time. That's every single year we could be getting about $1 billion of investments that the fossil fuel industry pays for and goes into this without particularly seeing any price impacts for the consumer.
All right, well, this is one that we're watching. Julie Tai from the New York League of Conservation Voters, thank you so much.
Great, thank you for having me on.